Alright, on the road again. Looks like I only have 2 of these videos left that I can do before I have to move it over. It's like I lose my fucking mind every night or something because I have clarity right now in the morning. It's like I'm 2 different people or something in the morning and at night, because I have clarity at night with certain things and I have clarity in the morning with certain things. As I'm like, I think it's probably because my last job, since I worked from my phone while I was working, I think I was just able to multitask really easily with jotting down notes for that, jotting down notes for myself, for things that I needed to do, take care of. I was like able to balance both of those just fine. And I can multitask at this job too. You just can't really, like, there's just not enough. There's enough interaction with what I'm doing now on the phone that, like, I can still multitask by, like, watching a video or playing that Pokemon Pocket or listening to music or something, especially with the dual Bluetooth setting, having 2 devices connected. But when it comes to what I was doing before with writing down things on my list and having ideas, jotting them down and reconfiguring the list and stuff throughout the day, can't really do that here. Like, maybe I can, but I haven't figured out a way that feels right. So yeah, so it feels like I'm almost 2 different people or something, because I'll talk about things on here and then it just won't be done. But it's not my usual reason for not getting things done. The usual reason is because of my energy, because of the depression. Like, it makes it extremely difficult to do anything. Like, I've probably talked about this every single video, but I had a piece of hair in my mouth. The reason at night feels more like, lately, feels more like I'm just forgetting. And it's stupid because I think I've said this the last couple times, but I'm like realizing it because I'm like aware of the stuff that I do, and I try to like reflect and figure things out all the time. Why is it that I feel like I'm forgetting to do the things? So there's certain things that I do remember to do, like do the eating, and I know I should be exercising even if I'm really trying to get into it. I'm not fully doing it yet, but I'm like trying to. But there's other things too that it's just like I forget, like writing down the idea for the video. Why do I forget that every time? Writing down the things onto my list and adhering to it like I've been doing for the past almost like 2 years. And like putting my retainer in before I go to bed. Like, why am I forgetting certain things? And then I remember it like in the middle of the night. Like, I will, just because I wake up so often, I'll wake up one of the times and I'll be like, why didn't I do this thing? And I'll have like the urge to go and do whatever I need to do, or just stay up and be like, okay, whatever, I got an hour of sleep, and just do whatever that I needed to do. But at that point, now it's not the energy, now it's not the forgetfulness, now it's just I'm really tired because of the insomnia. So it's like, in a way, it's almost like 3 different people because of the morning, afternoon, and super late night, early morning thing. So I don't know. I am figuring it out, though. It's fine. Once again, that's the whole point of this, to show like the stuff that I'm going through. I know that it's really, it probably doesn't really show it, but eventually it might. So, and now I have a whole new emotional thing to deal with. It's great. By great, I mean horrible, terrible. But I did catch up with one of my buddies the other day, super close. He's doing good. He was mentioning getting his CompTIA Plus cert. I think I want to do the same thing, and I suggested, because I was at the grocery store talking, and I'm like, let's just do that together and like study together and do the test thing at the same time. And he was like, absolutely. So once he's squared away with some stuff that he's doing, hopefully by then I'll be good too. And even if I'm not, this is a huge opportunity. Learn things together with someone that I know I work with really well together, and we get to spend some time, whether it's not going to be in person, lives far away, but we'll be able to spend time, like, since we don't get to very often. That'll be a really good thing for me, for him, and hopefully for both of our futures, starting to get things kicked off again. It's very sunny out today, which is nice. You can like feel it being absorbed in my skin. Feel like, maybe that sounds a little crazy, but I didn't achieve anything yesterday, so that's good. I did get groceries. I did get, I forgot to get my prescription. See what I mean? Like, it's weird that I just forget this stuff, because that was something that I had written down to get, and I didn't run out completely yet, so that's fine. I'll be like right on the cusp of it, but so either I'll just go tonight, or I'll just go like right on the last day. But yeah, that's so weird that I forgot. And I even went to the area that it was in, and I was like, what am I looking for? It's super bizarre. Aside from emotional distress, catching up with that friend, separate things. What else? I've determined that, like, I've determined how much I'm losing, like, per month monetarily. So that's bad, but it's good to know, so I can kind of like choose when I should have ice cube soup, choose when I should not spend something, or try to hold back on certain things. I mean, I'm like extremely minimal, so I don't ever get anything for myself. Like yesterday, I got honey for myself but that's also just food, so I don't really count that. But I got honey because I'm gonna test out if taking like a scoop of honey will help, and maybe some of the pollen will help with not the energy, because I've already tried that before, but with the shakiness. Like maybe it has to do with the sugar. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to be talking to the doctor soon about it, so it's not like a huge deal. But I like honey, and it's a good like little tiny boost in like 50 or so calories, so it's like a tiny bit extra of something. Let's see. Managed to achieve last night. I mean, aside from the daily stuff that I already do and a little bit more planning for exercise, yeah, it's not a lot, but I have to just be alright, try to do more the next day, or just realize that I'm doing a little bit each day. It's getting to there. I don't even know if I'm like lining myself up in the video, or if it even matters, or if I can even be heard because my car is so loud in the back. I have a lot of things I need to figure out really fast here soon. Some major things. Have to utilize this this weekend especially. Really have to utilize it for whatever I'm going to be doing. This new stuff going on. I'd like to, I'm just going to end up saying the same thing again, whatever. I'd like to do exercise, reading, updates, and daily, like, list option updates, which I'm in the groove of, like, starting to get there with talking about it, but it's not fully there yet. If you would have seen, maybe I'll just go through the actual list of it at some point and kind of describe all of it. It doesn't look, it's hard to explain it because it's just in my own, like, writing where I knew what it meant at the time, so I might not even remember fully what it is if I go over it, but I could, like, read through it a little bit to, like, describe how much I've done over the past year and a half or more. How much I've done with the like going to the doctor, how much I've done with the house, how much I've done emotionally, how much I've done with the list itself and small things, and just like, it's inspiring to myself to think about. So I just got to get back to that fully. It's just like I've done so many of the more measly things at a certain point, it's way too warm in this car. I was just trying to heat up the windshield. At a certain point, it's just like mainly difficult things, and then of course the non-difficult, smaller, annoying things still pop up. So it's just like getting myself to do the stuff that I know is going to take a really long time or have a ton of steps or it's not easy to do or figure out or solve or cost money or whatever it is. There's a lot of different reasons and a lot of different things. And since I'm mostly at the point of those types of things, it's extra difficult. But once I get through it, it's going to be really good. Still just keep talking about the same stuff. That's why these have to be way more like lined up so I know what I'm going to be talking about. At least like have an idea, somewhat of an idea. Because I'm sure just if anybody were to watch these back to back to back, they'd be just like, this is the same thing every time. Like, eventually it'll be evolving. Like it'll be evolving over time. Right now, I don't even know what the heck that is over there. Why have I never noticed that before? It might be like a rest stop, or it looks weird. Man, I'm really having a difficult time knowing what to talk about right now. I'm like very excited to the point where I just never start about the exercise stuff, because I know when I actually get into my groove like I was before, and I was like that was the thing I would look forward to, and it was like that was my main part of the day, not work. Like work was just get through it type thing, and the main point was going to the gym. Once that happens again, man, I know that I'm gonna be like progressing really well with it. I can just tell. Like I know I'm like extremely drained, but man, when I was in it, I was really, I could push myself really hard. It was really good. So I know I'm gonna get to that point again. Just really gotta I might do what I've never done before with it. We'll see, since normally I want to do a giant set with supersets and just enjoy doing that type of way of training. I might just do like the single body part per day type of split, or like 2 body parts, because yeah, I know that gives those parts like a ton of time to rest. But because I'm so weak right now, that might be good. And because I can't really do the superset stuff with the equipment that I have in my own home, I think it could be just like a lot better than sitting there fiddling with like how I'm gonna switch everything around so many different times. So it should be pretty interesting. Keep updated on that. But anyway, I'm losing my mind, so I'll be back tomorrow. Okay. I probably shouldn't even record this one because it's the last one that I can do, and I'll have to just push everything back onto the computer. In a terrible place in my mind right now. Like usual, but worse, I guess. Couldn't really breathe this morning, extra shaky everywhere. I used some nasal spray and I put like some Vicks in my beard because it'll like kind of stay in the beard for like probably a couple hours with the scent, and I can kind of smell it like in my mustache and stuff. It's probably not like the best thing for it, but I'm sure it's not a big deal. Like, it's not crackling or feeling like dry or anything, so it's probably fine. Most likely gonna be late. Didn't eat properly this morning. More emotionally extremely distressing stuff last night. Watched a bit of a show that I wanted to with some buddies, and then like online. And then cut it abruptly short. Didn't intend to do that, sorry about that. Because of the emotionally distressing stuff. Chance that I don't even know if it's a chance. I just had to figure out like a determination on it, I suppose. I'm gonna be like losing my house, most likely. It's not really a reasonable expectation to think that I can live on my own again either, because just everything is so exorbitantly expensive. Really shouldn't even be working right now. It's going to be an extremely difficult day for me. Only doing it because I'm not, oh, you get the holiday off, but you don't get paid for it. Okay. Well, that means I'm just gonna fucking starve. So that's cool. Thanks. Even if I was paid, it's still not enough. So thanks for making it extremely worse. Tired. Probably slept 3 hours. This time it wasn't waking up a bunch of times, it was just like in horrible distress. And insomnia, full throttle, and eventually, like, I pass out for a little bit, and then my alarm goes off, and it's time to get back in the shower. Extreme waste of a day yesterday. I guess it wasn't all bad. Got my prescription stuff that I forgot to get the other day. Of course, it wasn't smooth. For some reason, it wasn't like it didn't go through when I reordered it, but they're like, but we have enough to make your order, and I'm like, yes, please, that'd be lovely. And then it just wouldn't scan and stuff. It doesn't really matter. I was there for like a lot longer than I should have been, but they figured it out. So I'm not upset with them or anything. It's just how things go. That there's more to life than this. Every day do the same thing. Every day go to this place that you don't give a fuck about. Thing that doesn't matter, that can be replaced. For pennies that don't even allow you to eat. say. Worse than yesterday. Maybe I'll just stay up for like a couple days straight, like tiny naps in between. To do the stuff that I need to do. To lose everything again. Best version of yourself when you finally have to. resistance. It's time to make it better. Anytime soon, and then like as soon as I can replace the tires and do the painting of the undercoat, if I can do that this upcoming week, then it'll be good for the outside before it snows, and I can take off the insurance. So that's what I should do immediately. And then the next immediate thing that I can do on the inside is the insulation, soundproofing, bug protection, and moisture resistance for the floor. Then do the floor framing and the same thing on the walls. And then have him do the ceiling, the extension ceiling, and then attach the walls to the ceiling and get everything situated to make it like essentially a room that has nothing in it. And then, so I won't put the walls on, but all the framing will be there so that I can put like a panel. So if I put like the electrical inside one of the walls, as long as it's safe, then I can have a panel that comes off the wall so I can get to the electrical without having to rip apart the whole van. And then or I can put it inside of like a chest that's on the floor. And same thing with the water. So I can access the points of failure in the van immediately. So since the engine is inside the van and not in the front, I can access the engine if I need to fix something. Since the electrical and the water will be inside the van in like a chest or panel, I can take off the panel and fix it if I need to. Then, after that, it can be kind of slow burn. Like, if I do those things before I come back to visit you, Mom and whoever, then I'll be looking pretty good. And then I can focus on, like, things more in parts. And not worry about it. Those are, like, the things, like, good thing I already went to the mechanic. Good thing I already did the diagnostic codes and replaced the spark plugs and the fuses and stuff, and the engine's running good. It's just really loud, blah blah blah. I just have to do little things, but those major things should be done very, very, very soon. Even if he's not around, I should just do it, because it's so difficult for me to do things on my own, yes, but I'm recognizing, like, as I'm talking to you, because it's easier for me to think things through when I'm talking to somebody, I'm recognizing that, like, these have to be done before anything else. And then, oh yeah, I already built the super tall canopy. I think I sent you a picture of that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we built that from the gate. And then I need to get a tarp or a painter's tarp to put on top of that. And I can put the van underneath it and it can protect mostly against it. And then the plan is, if it, like, I can also put a tarp on the side where the wind is mostly coming from, so that, like, it can't blow water onto it from the side. Then let me see. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the only... If anything goes wrong with the timing after I come back again, I think that the most important... I wrote down, like, what the most important things are, kind of like what you were telling me before, which are the power, the insulation, soundproof, basic lighting,
and basic water, even if it's like gravity fed, where I just have it like a water tank at like a workplace, it just draining down. That's fine. I think that just doing those basic things, if time becomes an issue before it becomes like super cold and snowy, then I'll just make sure to do that, and I can postpone the rest of the stuff. Um, High Thunder. Did you hear him?
Mhm.
Yes, I think enough to be able to get around afterward, if I had to get around, would be what I need to do. And so that's mainly what I've been crazy thinking about and writing down and going over for the past couple days while I've been sick. Extra sick, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's the cool thing about the van is I can do everything from the inside. The only case where I'd have to get out would be if something happened to one of the tires or something happened to a battery or like the the air on the intake on the front. So I just battery swap and then remove the tire and replace it. Oh yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to get 5 tires, not 4, because I need to have a spare.
Another thing you can do, if you don't want to, like, if something's not working and your van is like not livable for whatever reason, and if for whatever reason you don't want to like stay with somebody while you're fixing it, you can get like a $100 storage unit for like $100 for a month, and just put it in there, and you can be in there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Like, you would have to probably go to the storage unit place, but like and see what, because you can go online and choose which one you want, and it'll show you like what lane. So you can go to the storage unit before you get it and see an area that's not really visible by the office, so they don't see you going in and out of it.
Yeah, plus, even if it wasn't like that, that'd be like a safe place to work on this stuff
Yeah.
during the day.
And you don't have to keep it, like, you pay month by month.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, I'm gonna do those things I said that I need to do before I come back to visit you, and then you and I, when I'm there, can do the construction paper plan, and then I can bring back the rest of my stuff from David's and either cut my bed so that I can use it as like a really thin couch or bed and bring that, or just leave the bed and do that like super very last. Um, but yeah, I think that's a good idea.
If there's anything you want to leave here, Kevin has an entire basement that's empty. And his garage is pretty much empty.
Yeah, he has a nice garage and basement that's super empty. So yeah, because I haven't been able to talk to David because he is so ridiculously ADHD and forgets everything that, um, like, I understand it just stinks because I'm trying to talk to him about what's going on with him, and then because I know he's having a difficult time, and then also just see if it's fine, like, my stuff being there, because I don't want to show up and be like, all my stuff is moved to his basement, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, my stuff that's there, I want it to be in that room, not in the basement.
Oh. Okay. I give it to David, the ADHD crap, and there's a lot going on with him, but at the same time, what is his priority? Like, what does he care about a lot? Because how else is he holding a job? If he forgets about everything, if he can't stay organized, whatever's going on, how else does he, like, keep track of when he has certain times to do things for work or certain tasks? I'm sure he has a process. He might make sticky notes or reminders or alarms. So if he can do that for work, I'm sure he could do that for other things he cares about, like talking to people. So I can give him that, but at the same time, he does function in certain areas of life that he needs to. So, like, he can do that if he really wanted to. Like,
I think it's just not like I get it, because I think that it's like you have to go to work, you have to take care of your pets or whatever. Like, I think that because he knows, like, he has a good relationship with you and me, it's not priority to talk to us because we're always going to be good, if that makes sense.
That's true.
That's what I think it is. So I'm not like making an excuse for him. I'm just saying I understand it, because like I know I need to do certain things and I can't even get myself to do it. So I think that's kind of where it goes to him.
The only reason I say that is because I thought, like, I sometimes will not talk to some people because the same reason you just said, but also I can't get myself to do it. But there's certain people that I make sure I still talk to because it's really, really, really important to me, even though I know what you're saying. Like, there's a lot of things I can't get myself to do, and only if I need to, and if you know they're going to be there for you, you don't always have to keep saying something. So, I mean, yeah, we are his cousins, so I know. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, then anyway, I'll just bring back the rest of the stuff with me, because not like to get it out of the way, but so that I can properly design the cabinets and stuff with everything that I have in mind. Because, you know what I mean? It's like, it's difficult to know how many drawers or cabinets or whatever to make when I don't have my stuff and I'm not able to look at what needs to be separated.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much everything. It feels good to just talk about it, because it's so, like, I've known what I want to do for so long, and I haven't even really watched anything on this aside from little things here and there. It's just my ideas with it. And because I think things through so much, like, I know that I have everything covered, it just, like, once it becomes like a real thing, it's so difficult for me to actually do it, because I know it's like a new chapter thing starting, and like I have some like emotional block that doesn't let me start anything. So that's part of the reason why I need to be here, because at least at first it was forcing me to do stuff that's difficult, but it's becoming more difficult to do the stuff while I'm here because he's not here that often. So like the whole point was that we were going to be constantly working on this stuff. So I got to have a conversation with him. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to have to take like the full reins on this, because this is my project and I was going to be like leading it, but I'm also like leaning on him because he knows more about vehicles than me. So I just gotta like push through it and do the things, and then I know that he'll follow suit with me because he is almost like David's clone when it comes to forgetting things and not prioritizing stuff. And I've kind of had the conversation with him recently about it. I'm like, man, you forget everything and you keep changing your mind on things that you feel like you need to do and stuff. And that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with your brain, whatever, you function, but I'm saying, like, for this project that I've explained to you so many times is very important. It's going to be what I'm living on and everything, living in. Like, we've got to get going and focus, especially going to be, if you're going to be working, like,
Yeah.
when it's supposed to be working, so, yep. So I'm just going to have to, like, force myself to learn the stuff that's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes me so long to learn things. Like, I will be sitting there and I'll be like, okay, I'm learning about this thing, and then I'm like, oh, it's been 13 hours trying to figure this thing out. But thanks for talking with me about everything and listening. And you have a bunch of good ideas, and we'll do that, the poster board idea, because you can imagine that better than I can.
By the way, I can play Fortnite anyway.
Oh, you can do the Guitar Hero stuff on it?
Yeah. Like, good enough quality where it lasts. That will work, it just might not last a long time. And then, I mean, and some things, like, I'm sure you'll be fine getting cheaper if you're going to take care of it, good care of it. And then other things, it also depends if you're using parts the way they're supposed to be used. So, like, if you get something in place, like, you're like, well, I could just use this instead, or off-brand, or something like that. If it's something really important, it probably would be better to buy, like, make sure that it's going to work correctly. Like, for example, like a car charger, like, for your phone. That's something that I would go and pay a little bit extra, because to make sure I'm getting the right amp and, like, whatever that's called, because it will work, but it could overheat and, like, cause damage, because it's not, like, cheaper ones will work, but they're not meant for, like, my charger or whatever. So that's why if I were to buy a cheaper one, I would have to know that's not a good idea, because if it's not meant for it, it could burn out or something like that. So if it's something that is fine to get not exact part or exact thing, then maybe you can go on the cheaper end and choose something different later. But like I said, if it is something that needs to be a correct one, and it could be bad if it's, then you might want to make sure that it's, like, a better quality one.
Yeah, so for example, like my computer, if I was using it, I probably won't use it that much because I just don't use it a ton right now, but I was doing it like, okay, if I use it for 4 hours, it'd be like 400 watts. I mean, this is just like estimating. And if I sound weird, it's because I'm wearing my retainer.
Okay.
And then something like a monitor is like 40 watts. Or like and then the amps. The watts are what you need, I think, and then the amps are like what's outputted by the thing charging it. And so, obviously, not everything in the thing is going to be running all the time. But for example, if I'm working or not around, there needs to be air conditioning or heat on for the cats. So,
You also have to remember that, like, you can probably research a little bit about cats and temperature, because I know they're domesticated and like house cats or whatever. So it could be different, but like cats are like animals that can be outside and be in heat, because their fur also like is meant in their sweat ducts and stuff are meant to cool them off and keep them warm. So you have to remember that. I know that sometimes you worry about that, but maybe you should research that a little bit more, so you don't have to think that you don't have to worry about always having the AC on.
yeah, plus I think that just like having a mini version of a lot of stuff, like a mini AC or a mini heater or things like that, will help. And I'm gonna put a little baby monitor in there anyway, so I know, so I can like check them with my phone to see if they're like
Yeah.
not doing okay. What'd you say?
I was gonna say, one thing you could do rather than depending on the weather, if you want to like sleep and not freeze to death, you could always get those heating things that you just put in your gloves and socks that you just have to crunch up and then it gets hot. And then if you just make sure that's like on your feet, your hands, and like by your neck, then you'll stay warm all night.
Yeah, I'm gonna insulate the thing, so it's just like a lot of different steps, so that's what I'm gonna tell you about. So yeah, so I'll be doing 2 car batteries. One has a normal battery that it's running on, and one if the battery stops working. So it's like a backup, because there's space for it, and they're not that expensive. And I think that's important. Then I'm gonna have a toolkit for specifically for the van, for things like the jack or the jack stands, or a jetpack thing which can jump the car for me. A bunch of things specifically for the van and for changing things out. And then like there's solar panel requirements that require that like have different outputs and different amounts that they can store into a battery. So what I should probably be doing is, I haven't decided if I'm gonna just buy a bunch of stuff all at once or if I should just buy it in parts, but I'll tell you the order that I'm gonna do this stuff. So on the top of the van, it's gonna be like a light bar, which is just like a big light source that shines in front of the car at night. And then you can get those for pretty cheap. I'm gonna do a large solar panel. Then behind that solar panel is gonna be the air input, like in an RV that comes in. Then on either side is going to be 2 little just plexiglass things for a skylight, and then a thin solar panel after that, then the air output duct with 2 little skylights next to that, so there'll be 4 little panels of plexiglass that just let light in, and then 2 air ducts, one that goes in and out so don't get too humid or too dry, and so air is cycling so it doesn't have mold. And then behind that will be another giant solar panel, and then another light bar shining on the back. Because did I tell you that I'm welding the sliding door onto the van?
I don't think so.
So I'm gonna have his dad show me how to tack weld, which means it's like, it doesn't mean like I'm melting the entire door onto the van. It means I'm going weld, 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 weld. And then, if that makes sense, like boom, 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 boom in certain spots, and then I fill in the rest of the creases with epoxy or whatever it's called to fill it in. Does that make sense or not really?
I think so, but I don't think I need to really know exactly what you're talking about.
So essentially there's not going to be a sliding door because it's broken, and I'm going to take the sliding part off, fuse the door onto the van, and now I just have 2 full walls on either side. So it'll let me build a lot more stuff, because with the sliding part, I wasn't going to really be able to build anything on it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But now, it gives me a lot more options. And then, the extension of the roof, because we're cutting off the roof and then extending it about 2 feet, I'll be able to stand in there without hunching over, and I'll have cabinets at the top to store things.
Okay.
So, then, yeah, when I was doing the high cost estimate, it was saying like all these components are gonna be thousands of dollars, and at first I was like, dang, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this thing at all, because even if I did, I'd be going into credit card debt, and I'm already in health medical debt. But there's certain things that I need, like the batteries and the battery storage, and then a backup like gas or propane generator that, in case like there's no sunlight or the batteries aren't storing anything. And then I need an inverter and the solar panels and the mounts and all these different things.
Remember something also? Sorry. Something just to keep in mind is some things you don't have to get until maybe you need it. Because it's not like you're going to always, I don't know what your plan is with this. I know that you're going to sometimes just go around and see where you want to be. But so you could go to a store, or you can like order something. You don't. It's not like you're gonna be stranded in the middle of nowhere. So you don't have to have everything prepared before you start. You can, and like if it's summertime, you can wait to get a heater. If it's wintertime, you can wait to get the AC. You know, and like especially having a spare things, you don't need those necessarily unless you're planning on being stranded for weeks at a time. You can always just get it when it comes up. Because it's not like you're gonna die if anything's not working for like a day or two. Like you could sit inside of your van for whatever's going on if you're waiting for something and something to be fixed. You're not going to die for one day or anything. And it's not going to blow up. So, like, those things you can get as you go, too.
Yeah, so when I come back, I think it'll be a good idea for you and me to go over the things that are needed now and not later, because it's hard for me to differentiate it.
Okay.
So I'll have you help me with that. And I'm not going to go into super crazy detail about every single thing that I need, because that's just annoying to list off for you probably. But so
if you want to, you can. I'm just sitting in the bathtub right now brushing my hair.
yeah, no, I'll just tell you the categories. So there's the electrical system, then there's the framing with the wood and the cabinets and the floor and everything. And then there's insulation and soundproofing, because the insulation for when it snows, and then soundproofing because it's super ridiculously loud because it's a work vehicle V8. And then the roof extension, which he wants to do pretty much solo. I mean, I'll help him with it, but he's gonna do that mostly. And he already did like a basic version of it, and it turned out really good, but he's gonna get his own like wood pieces and stuff and make it the way that he wants to do it. And then like even if it doesn't turn out right, it's fine because we can just put a normal roof back on top if the extension doesn't turn out good. And then there's the appliances, the new tires, and the underneath painting, and then protection spray underneath the van for the elements. So, if I'm doing it myself with everything, an estimate of low to mid end from where I am right now is like 9 to 13,000, and I can save a lot. Like I can save a decent amount because I bought the materials for the original high-rise roof, and it didn't go the way exactly he wanted to. He's gonna buy the materials this time. Plus, we're using my tools, his tools, and his dad's tools, so I don't have to buy like specific tools for everything. So save money there, and then okay, so now here's the phases. So the phases are going to be like replace the tires. I have to replace the tires because they're rotting. I'm going to keep the what are they called? The rims, and I'm going to scrape the rust off them like I did with the floor on the inside, and then repaint them so that they don't get rusty. And then I have to go to a vehicle place where they, like a tire place or whatever, where they lift the vehicle and they spray it underneath with this special oil that protects it. I have to do that every 6 months. But before I do that, I gotta get jack stands and a jack that can lift up a super heavy vehicle to scrape some of the rust off the bottom, and then paint that again like I showed you with the floor. And then
So then can't you spray the oil yourself if you're already going to jack up the car?
no, because it's like a special thing. I mean, maybe I could call a place and ask them what it is, and then I can ask them if I could do it myself. So I'm not sure yet. But before going anywhere with it, I have to replace the tires, and the underneath stuff has to be done. And the welding. So those 3 or 4 things I want to be done as soon as possible so that I can remove the insurance on it, so I'm not going to drive the vehicle anyway until it's done. And then I can put RV insurance on it once it's like an actual RV. So the second phase is going to be framing, so with like treated wood, making the frame of the floor, making the frame of the walls, and then like a thin frame on the back doors, because the back 2 doors I'm gonna have the 2 front doors obviously, and then I have 2 back doors that are on the very actual back of the vehicle that open up. So I don't have a trunk, it's just like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a thin frame on those so they can still open. And then attach the roof extension to the framing of the walls. So like, something that needs to be done before it starts snowing is the tires, the scraping the rust protection spray, and then the roof. Then have to put the walls in fully, paint them. Underneath the walls are going to be subfloor, sub-walls, and insulation, soundproofing. And I'm also going to do like a bug lining layer, kind of like a bug net.
Okay.
And then the third phase, it seems like this is why it's so overwhelming for me, because it's like so much, but that's why I'm trying to like bring it down from all the things that I want and need down to the categories, down to the phases, to make it like more structured and believable, you know?
Yeah, I can also help you like draw it out. Like we can like get a poster board or something.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, because I drove the I drew the top, the roof with the panels and stuff, but I tried to design it in the I told you the other day that I tried to design the inside with like painter's tape to how big everything's going to be and where the bed or the couch or the fridge or whatever's going to be, but it's so difficult to imagine because it is not only like left to right, front to back, but it's also bottom to top. So it's like a full 3D image, so it's hard to imagine it because it's not flat. You know what I mean?
We should call Ted Most be the architect.
I know.
I'm pretty good at that stuff because I draw things, but we get like that. But I was talking about like making a giant visual version of the steps and how they're broken down.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So if you want to get, I can send you some money on Venmo. If you want to get a couple like of those like dollar store little crappy like poster things, whenever you have time, it doesn't have to be like today or tomorrow or anything, but like whenever you have time before I visit, then we can do that. Either we can do it over the phone or when I'm back there with you.
Okay.
So the next part, phase 3, is the electrical system. So there's like installing the extra battery, installing the power banks and the inverters, and mounting the solar panels. I also had to do wiring and lighting, and then wire everything to the appliances and stuff, and then add all the switches, the ports, the like things like that, and then a monitoring system, which will probably just be one of my old phones, and I'll get like a magnetic battery or a magnetic case and just like stick it to the wall, and I'll monitor the electrical system with that, which I have to learn how to do on YouTube. Then phase 4 is the interior building. So building the little cabinets, and then I can go to IKEA and get cabinet doors so that they can be locked so the cats can't get in them, and they can be the soft closing so they don't slam or open up when I'm driving. So like I can build the cabinets to save money, but then the doors I'll just get from IKEA for the specific sizes. Now,
Could like get it. Sorry, the van just drivable and put like insurance, like short-term insurance or whatever, to drive it here, and then we can just like I can help you work on it.
yeah,
I would love to do that.
because what?
Because I would love to do that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should do that. So, because I was thinking about driving the Fiat back, but maybe I'll just get the tires.
You don't have to do it this time if you don't want to, but we can like another time if you want, whenever you're ready.
Oh, you mean like if it takes longer, we can do some of the later steps together.
Yeah, no, like, if you don't want to come back and work on it all the time here, like, if you want to stay there for whatever reason first, like, if you want your dad or him to help you learn some of it, or whatever, and then whenever you're ready to bring it to Michigan, I'll help you do, like, stuff that I can do. I can figure everything out, but I'm good at stuff, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea, because just the whole plan has gotten, like, off the rails because, he's just working so much, and the whole plan was not to work at all. We were both not going to work and just focus on the house and the van, but whatever. Yeah, so phase 4 is doing the cabinets and the storage and the counters, which is really difficult for me to imagine, because I'm like, I don't know how to imagine where things should be, because I want it to function for how I function, if you know what I mean, where I like things in certain places. So, kind of like how I like things in bags. They're not going to really be in bags now, they're going to be in little individual cabinets. So, I want it to be, I can't think of the word, but I want it to...
Like, minimal and compactly organized, put away, and easily accessible at the same time. So just like, I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
what I can do for you is look up different, because I know what you like too, but I don't know exactly. So I could send you like some ideas, looking up pictures of like how people set up tiny spaces. Like I could say homemade like RV setup, and look up those words to describe it, like storage, and I can even look up other things like tiny house or tree house or kitchenette, effective storage, like small spaces that have effective storage and things like that.
Okay.
Huh?
I said okay.
Okay, go ahead. You good? Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you're fine. The fifth stage is gonna be the last one, I think. It'll be sealing all the gaps and weatherproofing it, testing everything, like the water and the electrical, and putting in the more expensive stuff like the computer and the extra electrical stuff like the surge protectors. Then there's like items that can be done later, but I still need them, like a fire extinguisher, a fire blanket, a smoke detector, and carbon monoxide, and like
Yes.
proper circuit breakers. Well, I should probably do that originally, actually, but have a kill switch for the water and for the electrical in case there's electrical fire or a water leak, because a water leak would ruin almost the entire thing, because I would have to remove the entire floor. So yeah, so I need to have a thing that shuts off the water, kind of like at the previous place, and then thing that shuts off the electricity, and then obviously change insurance to be like an RV insurance type thing, and then I can add on better water tanks later, where it's like, instead of just having one water source and then it draining, I can have like a normal water and then a gray water, and the gray water is just like the dirty water, and then I dump it out and refill the other one. And then having like a battery monitor to make sure the batteries are charged, or like a solar monitor to make sure that it's outputting the correct stuff, can be done later. But that's why it's difficult for me to differentiate, because I feel like those things are important now, but whatever. And then a lot of like wall hooks or magnetic things could be really good for like towels or kitchen items and things. And then I'm gonna have like a tool tall tool chest thing with drawers, kind of like the size of the mini fridge, but specifically for tools. And then I can do the spare tool stuff that I was telling you about for the van, specifically for the van. I can do that later, and I can do like emergency food or water or like heat blanket or whatever. That can be done later. And then so most likely the internet is going to be, I was going to do that Starlink thing where it's like what is it called? The satellite internet stuff, but the satellite itself isn't that expensive if you get the small one, but the internet for it each month is very expensive, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm getting I still have to have the conversation with Mom, so don't tell her about it right now, but I'm going to get a different phone provider, and you can join my phone plan later if you want, but I know you probably don't want to right now. But get a different phone provider that has like good enough internet to where I can run things off of the phone or a hotspot or whatever, and then be able to plug directly into electricity at like a camp or a park from the outside, like RVs can, to charge if I need to here and there. So I'm gonna get like a park. I already have like national park thing on my license plate, so I can go to any of them for free. And then there's like way later things, like an awning on the outside so I can sit outside and things like that. But oh yeah, so then there's this other thing that I forgot I need to do before I put in the walls and the floor, which is called a vapor sheet, or like a plastic sheet where it protects against moisture buildup. I'm already gonna have dehumidifier in there, but still I don't want it to get moisture to get on the floor, because I saw what that's like and I sent you the pictures where it just got so rusted. So
Yeah.
and then everything has to have surge protectors, which protect against like electrical pops or like issues. And then let me see.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Were you talking just now?
No, I said let me see, and I was just reading.
Oh.
So the stuff that I have is power insulation / soundproof, water, ventilation, appliances, computers and electrical, comfort and safety, structure, and like DIY kind of stuff, like cabinets and just saving money where I can. So I think what I need to do right now is, which is like as soon as possible. Like I'm gonna see if I can go to his dad's place tomorrow, and if he's free tomorrow, we can do the welding of the door. Like